Imagine this for a moment. You walk into your living room after a long day, grab your Apple TV remote, and press the power button. But instead of the same familiar interface you've been used to for years, you're greeted by something different, something faster, smarter, more futuristic than anything Apple has ever brought into the living room. This isn't just a slightly refreshed Apple TV, it's potentially the biggest transformation in the history of Apple's streaming box. What Apple is reportedly preparing for late 2025 isn't simply an update, it's a complete reimagining of what streaming devices, gaming hubs, and smart living centers could be for years to come. And if leaks and rumors are even half true, the next generation Apple TV might become the most underestimated, yet most influential device Apple releases this decade. In this deep dive, we'll cover every detail: the A17 Pro chip upgrade, the N1 wireless processor with Wi-Fi 7 support, Apple Intelligence AI on tvOS, rumors about built-in cameras and gesture controls, Apple's potential push into gaming console territory, and even the shocking reports about a sub-$100 price point. By the end, you'll understand why this little black box could become the centerpiece of Apple's living room strategy, how it could disrupt Roku, Fire TV, and Chromecast, and why the timing of its launch matters more than most people realize. The heart of the device, A17 Pro chip and 8GB RAM. Let's start with performance, because that's what defines user experience. Current Apple TV 4K models run on the A15 Bionic chip, which does a good job with 4K streaming, Apple Arcade's casual games, and apps like Netflix, Disney+, or HBO Max. But for Apple's next move, good enough isn't good enough. The 2025 Apple TV is rumored to leap forward with the A17 Pro chip, the same cutting-edge silicon that powers the iPhone 15 Pro series. And paired with it, reports suggest 8GB of RAM, a huge jump compared to current Apple TV models. This isn't just a spec bump. This is Apple transforming the Apple TV from a streaming box into something resembling a desktop-class device for the living room. Graphics. Revolution: the A17 Pro supports advanced ray tracing and smooth real-time rendering. That means console-quality graphics on your TV without needing a bulky console. Future-proof speed. Multitasking across apps could become instant. No more sluggish menus or slow app switching. Creative possibilities for developers. With more RAM and power, game studios, app creators, and even fitness or education platforms could design entirely new experiences for tvOS 18. Apple isn't just selling a faster box. They're opening the door for a new category of apps that were impossible on older hardware. The wireless revolution, N1 chip and Wi-Fi 7 if the processor is the heart. Then wireless connectivity is the bloodstream. And Apple is reportedly debuting its new N1 wireless chip inside this Apple TV. Why does that matter? Because it enables Wi-Fi 7. Wi-Fi 7 isn't a small upgrade. It's a revolution in how devices connect. It offers blazing speeds, stream multiple 4K HDR videos at once with no buffering, lower latency, perfect for gaming, FaceTime calls, and real-time collaboration. Rock-solid stability. Even in homes packed with devices, the Apple TV will keep connections strong. Picture this. You AirPlay a massive 8K video from your iPhone 17 Pro to your Apple TV in seconds. Or you join a multiplayer Apple Arcade game with friends and notice almost zero lag. That's the promise of Wi-Fi 7, and Apple is betting big that users will notice the difference immediately. Apple Intelligence on tvOS, AI in your living room 2025 is shaping up to be the year of Apple Intelligence. Apple's branded AI system rolling out across iPhones, iPads, and Macs. But imagine what it could do in the living room. On the next Apple TV, Apple Intelligence could turn Siri from a basic voice assistant into a true entertainment concierge. Smart recommendations. Ask, show me underrated thrillers from the 1990s under 2 hours long, and get instant results. Mood-based suggestions. Play the perfect episode of Ted Lasso for a rainy day. AI-driven upscaling. Old HD shows could be sharpened and enhanced to look amazing on a 4K or even 8K TV. This isn't just a gimmick. Apple has spent years building toward this vision. With the power of the A17 Pro, the Apple TV could become the first true AI-powered hub for entertainment and smart living. Camera and gesture control. The futuristic rumors. Here's where things get exciting. Multiple rumors suggest Apple is experimenting with a built-in camera in the next Apple TV. Why does this matter? Because it could change FaceTime forever. Instead of propping up your iPhone or iPad, you could just say, "Hey Siri, FaceTime Mom," and instantly connect on your 65-inch screen. Families, remote workers, and even classrooms could find this feature invaluable. But Apple might take it one step further with gesture control. Pause a movie with a wave of your hand. Swipe through menus by gesturing in the air. Adjust volume without touching the remote. Apple has been quietly researching gesture technology for years. And if it arrives on Apple TV, it could redefine how we interact with our televisions, making remotes almost optional. Gaming potential? Apple TV as a console. Alternative? Here's a bold idea. The Apple TV might evolve into Apple's stealth entry into the gaming console market. With the A17 Pro, 8GB of RAM, and Wi-Fi 7, the specs line up with what you'd expect from a mid-tier gaming console. Add Apple Arcade's growing library, compatibility with Xbox and PlayStation controllers, and even potential partnerships with third-party developers. And suddenly the Apple TV becomes a real contender. No, it won't replace the PlayStation 6 or Xbox Series Z, but it could rival the Nintendo Switch or upcoming Switch successor for casual and family-friendly gaming. Apple's ecosystem advantage, iCloud saves, Game Center, and crossplay with iPhones and Macs could give it a unique edge. Gaming has long been Apple's what-if category, and the next Apple TV might be their most serious step into that space yet. Price shock, under $100? Apple has traditionally priced the Apple TV between $129 and $149, cementing it as a premium product compared to Roku or Fire Stick. But this time, rumors suggest a major shakeup, a launch price of under $100. Why would Apple do this? Simple, services revenue. The Apple TV isn't just hardware. It's a gateway into Apple TV Plus for streaming, Apple Music for the living room, Apple Arcade for gaming, Apple Fitness Plus for workouts, iCloud Plus for backups and storage. By lowering the upfront cost, Apple could massively expand the install base. The real money isn't in selling millions of Apple TVs. It's in hooking those users into monthly subscriptions that last for years. Release window, fall 2025. When will we actually see this? Most signs point to October or November 2025. Apple rarely launches new hardware in December, but they love fall releases, especially for products meant to shine during the holidays. Imagine Apple TV 2025 being marketed as the perfect Christmas gift, landing right as families gather indoors to binge watch, FaceTime, and game together. If Apple times it right, this could be the biggest holiday success story in Apple TV history. The bigger picture. Why this matters at first glance. The Apple TV seems small compared to iPhones, Macs, or even Apple Watches. It doesn't sell in massive numbers. It doesn't get flashy keynotes. But make no mistake, the Apple TV could become the centerpiece of Apple's entire living room strategy. It brings together streaming, gaming, communication, and smart home control. With Apple Intelligence, it becomes smarter and more personalized. With HomeKit integration, it could become the brain of your connected home, managing lights, security, and appliances. In many ways, the Apple TV represents Apple's vision of the living room of the future, one device that unifies entertainment and smart living seamlessly. Final thoughts, a revolution waiting to happen. So, will Apple really deliver all of this in 2025? Or will some features remain experimental? That's the big question. Apple is known for holding back features until they're perfect. But if even half of these leaks come true, the A17 Pro chip, 8GB RAM, Wi-Fi 7, built-in camera, gesture control, Apple Intelligence integration, and a sub-$100 price, then the next Apple TV won't just be an upgrade. It'll be a revolution in how we experience the living room. And that's why, even though the Apple TV doesn't grab headlines like the iPhone, it could quietly become one of the most important Apple products of the decade.